Which, for me, it's not a problem because...
We've heard from Sarah Jones, we've heard from police and the prosecutor, but no one has ever heard from Cody York until now.
I'm not used to seeing my face on the media at all, and it was overwhelming.
Cody sat down with Dateline for an exclusive interview. A young man on the verge of adulthood, under the law, the victim of a sex crime committed by his teacher, Sarah Jones.
What was it like to be called the victim?
I didn't like being called the victim because I wasn't the victim. I wasn't a victim of anything. She never did anything to me.
Did she manipulate you?
Absolutely not.
Use her power of authority over you?
No, not at all.
Cody says to truly understand what happened, you need to hear him tell it. How Sarah entered his life years ago. He says their families mingled in the same small-town social circles.
We were friends before I was even in high school, before she was a teacher. I could always go to her and talk to her about anything. She was my support system, and she was my best friend.
So when Cody had Miss Jones for freshman English, there was already a bond, a strange dynamic for a teacher and student.
I never looked at her as a teacher. I don't even think I called her Miss Jones ever before.
By Cody's senior year, Sarah was all he could think about.
Do you remember the moment that you said to yourself, you know what, I think I may have feelings for this girl?
I don't exactly remember the exact moment, but outside of school, it just started coming along. Like every other time I would see her outside, it would just hit me harder and harder and harder every single time. And that's just how it started.
In fact, Cody says Sarah didn't prey on him. He's the one who pursued her, even as Sarah walked down the aisle with another man.
Sarah got married to Nathan. What do you make of that marriage?
I knew they weren't going to last. I knew that she deserved more, and I knew that we were going to end up together. I just knew it.
Even then?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Did you say that to her?
Yeah, I said it to her.
Sarah felt it too. Their 9-year age difference didn't seem to matter. They crossed the line and had sex.
Before you consummated the relationship, did you realize, you know what, Sarah can get in a lot of trouble for this?
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
But you guys still did it?
Yeah, because it was worth it. But I never in a million years thought this would ever happen, and I don't know.
You never thought it would get to this point?
Absolutely not. Mm-mm.
There was no turning back. Now it was all about covering it up.
You had this giant secret you were trying to keep from people, from everyone.
It was very difficult. It was because I wanted to be able to tell my friends that, like, this is my girlfriend.
Did your friends say to you, dude, did you do this?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I miss every single day.
And what did you say to them?
No.
You lied?
Yeah, I just kept my mouth closed.
And Sarah needed him to keep his mouth closed, if ever questioned.
Honestly, in my mind, as dumb as it may sound, and I admit it, that I literally thought nothing could happen to me unless Cody turned me in. And
you knew he wasn't going to do that?
I knew he wasn't going to do that.
Did you and Sarah ever say to yourselves, look, we can't admit to what's going on, deny, deny, deny?
Yes, of course. That's just how it works, you know. She knew I hit her back.
You felt like this was airtight?
Yeah.
Who could ever know? How could they ever prove anything?
Exactly. That's exactly what I thought.
But little did they know investigators were one step ahead of them. They had those steamy and incriminating texts.
Where did you get these?
After that game-changing police interrogation, Sarah and Cody felt they were backed into a corner.
I was a nervous wreck. I would just lay in my bed and cry just because I knew that she didn't deserve to be in trouble, and I did not want anything to happen to her at all.
It was time to drop the bomb on their families.
We sat both our parents down, and we came out with it. We told them everything. We had to. We knew at that point in time that once the police were involved, we were caught.
The jig was up.
Mm-hmm.
It was nerve-wracking, but both families were very understanding.
They weren't like, what are you two thinking?
Oh, of course they were saying that. They were saying that we're dumb and everything, but who wouldn't, you know?
When they told you that night, I just want to get you into your mindset. Your first reaction?
I wanted to wring her neck. I mean, that's just plain and simple. What in the name of all that is holy were you thinking?
And I'm sure you weren't laughing when you said it.
No, I wasn't. I was sick. I was sick.
Sarah's parents had a choice to make: tell police the truth or protect their daughter. In the end, they chose their daughter.
Was it hard for you to keep this bottled up inside?
It was hard. It was very hard. Because I didn't want to be dishonest, and I didn't want to portray that she was totally innocent in that, and I don't think I did. I mean, some people may look at me and say that I just was a bold-faced liar. I don't feel like I was. I said multiple times, she's not totally innocent, but she's not what they're trying to make her out to be.
When Sarah was indicted, sitting on house arrest, the court had cut her off from Cody, banned from seeing him, calling him, or texting him. That, she says, was the worst part of all.
It was very hard to not be able to contact him. I mean, if you can imagine what it's like to not be able to see your best friend for a long time, 6 months, I struggled with it daily. I cried daily.
What was it like being apart?
The hardest 6 months I had to deal with ever, and I wish that I could have been on house arrest and she didn't.
But no one said anything about Twitter.
I follow you on Twitter. Here are some of the things you've tweeted. I know soon we'll be together, and I can't wait till then. I can conquer the world with one hand as long as you're holding the other. Were those messages for Cody?
We used Twitter as communication to each other when we were not allowed to communicate. I could tweet it, and if he read it, he knew I was thinking about him.
The sneaking around, the family embarrassment, the guilty plea. After all of it, they walk out of court holding hands.
Sarah, do you have anything to say?